ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः। ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, a few prayers specifically for our Bhagavad study. Put your hands together. If you know the prayers, please say them with me. If not, please listen attentively. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकीम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। And now here are two verses that I would like all of you to repeat after me. Okay? Sada Sevya Shrimad Bhagavati Katha Yasya Shravana Matrena Harischittam Samashrayet. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karvavahai तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Hare Krishna, thank you all for joining. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All right. So today we're going to start the third chapter. So we're doing Canto 1, Chapter 3, verse number 1. Please repeat. Suta Uvacha Jagre Paurusham Rupam Bhagavan Mahadadibihi Sambhutam Shodashah Kalam Adav loka susrukshaya. So, this verse is telling us a very crucial truth that we saw even last week. Ki creation does not happen automatically. It all begins with Lord's will. Look at those last two words. Loka sisrukshaya. He desired to create material worlds. Right? So always remember, these lokas were not created randomly. Creation was intentional. Okay? So let's understand the verse a little bit in detail. We know ki Krishna, the son of Vasudev, is full of all opulences. He's full of all potencies, right? Always the six. All fame, all beauty, all knowledge, all strength, all wealth, and also full renunciation. Correct? अब वो तो पूर्ण है. Yet, he accepted Purush avatars. This is answering the fourth question. Ki please tell me about the Purush avatars. Right? So why did the Lord accept Purush avatars? We need to understand, why did the Lord want to create this material world, all these universes? If God is so loving, if God is complete, then why put us in a world where there is struggle, where there is birth and death, where there is happiness and sorrow? Right? First, fundamentally, God did not create this world because he needed something. No, he is Atmaram. He is complete in himself. He is already full of all joy, all satisfaction. Right? He did not create this material world because he wanted something. He created this material world for us. Our soul is eternal. But our soul has this thing called free will. Right? Thoda sa independence, freedom. At some point we felt, ki yaar, you know what? I want to enjoy separately. I want to be independent. It doesn't mean I was a rebel. It does not mean that I hated God. But maybe I was just curious. Right? मैं खुद try करना चाहती हूँ. So what does the Lord do? He does not punish me. He says, okay, you're curious. I will not force you to stay. Right? God never said, no, you must stay with me. Instead, he created a place where my desire can be experimented with. And that place is the material world. Think of it like a loving father and a chota sa bachcha. The child is very safe at home. The child is loved, by his parents. He's very well protected. But one day the child says, you know what? I want to go and play alone. I don't want to be under your rules. I don't want to be in the boundary of your four walls. Right? The father says, okay. The father now knows that this child may fall. This child may get hurt. But still, because he loves the child and he wants him to figure out for himself, self-realization, what does the father do? He goes and he creates a little playground for his child. Right? He puts in some rules and he puts in some boundaries, and then he does not stand there with the child, within the child ka viewing distance. He goes and he stands at a little distance, a little far away. But he's watching. His heart is always with the child. So this material world is like that. It is our playground. Right? We have come here to enjoy independently. And that is why there is happiness and there is sadness. Kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. Right? We go through these experiences. We fall, we get hurt, we experience different kinds of pain. Sometimes we experience a lot of happiness. But when we are down especially, we start to realize ki nahi yaar, this is not my real home. And remember, at this time, God has not left us alone. He's just not visible to us, right? He has come along as Paramatma. He's sitting quietly in our heart. He has sent scriptures, he has sent sadhus, he has sent different avatars. Again and again, he's been reminding us very gently कि भाई तुम मेरे ही हो, है ना? जब चाहो तुम घर वापस आ सकते हो. Like my favorite, line to my children. All of them are out. My children, my nieces, my nephews. I always tell them, never forget the way back home. When trouble strikes, please remember a phone number. Just call. Don't worry about kitna chillaenge, kya bolenge, call. Right? So we've not sent our children away because we want to, take revenge on them. कि अच्छा तुमको मेरे बगैर रहना, जाओ अब suffer करो. No, we don't do that. So this material world also, God has not created because he's angry with us or because, he wants to say, अच्छा अब जी के दिखाओ तुम मेरे बगैर. No, it's a nice place for us to come and experiment with whatever desires we have and slowly learn कि नहीं भाई, true happiness is not here. True happiness is in loving connection with my Father. Right? Important thing, God never forces our return. He never rushes our return. He waits. He has endless patience. He has infinite love. So always remember, material world is not a jail. It is not a mistake. Right? It is a classroom. It is a place where we can learn. We can learn about God. We can learn about ourselves. Very important. Right? Ourselves and how we can align with the universal reality. And when the soul finally turns back and says कि बस भाई अब है ना मैं थक गया हूँ, भगवान जी, I want you. At that time, Bhagwan is waiting. That is why I always want to stress on this, that Bhagavatam is not a book that creates fear. तुम ये नहीं करोगे तो भगवान नाराज होंगे. Never. It is a book of hope. It is a book that tells us no matter how far we go, what kind of mistakes we make, the way back home is always open. Right? So that is the purpose of creation. We need to really appreciate how patient and how compassionate God is. You can never see कि अच्छा ये बंदा नहीं तो इतना बुरा, इसको तो कभी भगवान नहीं माफ करेंगे. There is no question of भगवान माफ नहीं करेंगे. Okay? भगवान का हर एक जन बच्चा है. And so God will receive him with the same compassion provided we turn to him. Right? And so now look at the verse. Jagre paurusham rupam. The Lord chooses to accept a particular form for creation. And what is that form? Paurusham rupam. The Purush avatar. So this is not Krishna's original eternal Bansuri pakde hue form. Right? This is the Purush avatar. A form that is meant for material creation. Okay? So the Lord accepts Purush avatar so that he can create the material world. And then what does he do? Bhagavan Mahat Adibihi. He puts together Mahat. Mahat are all the ingredients which are necessary to create the material world. Okay, we will do that in a little bit of detail. Mahavishnu glances at Prakriti. And Prakriti gets excited and she creates Mahat. Without Bhagwan glancing on her, Prakriti is inactive. Prakriti cannot act on her own. Right? In the Bhagavad Gita also God says, Maya dhyakshena prakritihi suyate sa characharam. Only under my supervision can my material energy work and create all these moving and non-moving beings. We'll do that. We'll do that in a little bit of detail. But first, just look at the verse in brief. Sambhutam Shodasha Kalam. God first created Shodasha Kalam, the 16 primary important things necessary. The 16 principles that are required in every universe. Adav Loka Sisrukshaya. He did all of this because he really thought it was time to create the material world. Right? Adav Loka Sisrukshaya. He did all of this because he thought there are now enough conditioned souls who need a place to carry out all their desires. There are enough conditioned souls who need to learn lessons. And so for them, he created this material world. Okay, so the special forms that God takes are called Paurusham Rupam, Purush avatars. Please remember, they are not separate gods. That same Supreme Lord accepted a roop, a form, which is called the Purush avatar. Now there are 3 Purush avatars. The first one, you might want to make notes or you might just want to listen and let it be. It does not affect bhakti too much, but it's information that has been given over here. So the first one is called Mahavishnu. He is also called Karana Udakashayi Vishnu. Karana, there are 3 Sanskrit parts to it. Karan means causal, the cause behind everything. Karan. Udaka. Udaka is a body of water, right? An ocean. And Shayi. Shayi matlab soye hue. है ना? So ये जो भगवान है, कारणोदकशायी Vishnu, he is lying down on an ocean on the causal ocean. The ocean of water, jahan se everything starts. Okay, the beginning of creation starts from there. The Lord is lying down in the waters of the causal ocean. That is Karanodakashayi Vishnu. The Lord is lying over there, and when he thinks that there is a need for creation, he looks at Prakriti. He smiles at Prakriti. At that time, Mahat Tattva appears. What that means is that Prakriti is like a mature girl. Okay, she's all ready to reproduce, but she's waiting. No woman, however mature you are, you can't have a child without connecting with a Purush, right? Prakriti and Purush, when they combine, a child is born. So like that, there is Mahavishnu, he's lying on the ocean of Karan, and there is Prakriti, his energy, his material energy, all ready, waiting to be impregnated. So when Purush glances at her, she gets pregnant. And what she creates is Mahat Tattva. Okay? I'll tell you a simple way to understand what Mahat Tattva is. Okay? Now, let's say there is a room full of, fans and lights and, laptops and whatever other machines. है ना? सब पड़ा हुआ है, सब बंद है, क्योंकि मेन स्विच जो है वो ऑफ है, राइट? God glancing on Prakriti means that God has turned on that main switch. Alright? When God turns on the main switch, fans, lights, machines don't turn on immediately because everything has their own switch. Correct? But what happens? Now electricity is flowing to everything. Correct? That is Mahat Tattva. That flow of electricity, which means that now everything is ready for creation. Everything is ready for manifestation. Does that make any sense? Right? So, Prakriti is God's energy, right? But she's completely inactive. She's waiting for God's direction. And when God connects with her, at that point she's electrified by his power. And at once, she creates millions of universes. Right? It is said that when Mahavishnu is lying on this causal ocean, when he breathes out from his bodily pores, several universes come out. Okay? So now that, when Mahat is created, is the starting point of material creation. Okay, bas mota mota samajh gaya to good enough. Should we do the next verse? Do we have any chota mota question over here? Yasyambasi shayanasya yoga nidram vitanvatah nabhirudham bujadasid brahma vishvasrujam patihi. Very interesting. We saw कि numerous universes have generated from the skin of Karanodakshai Vishnu. Okay? But at this point, the universes are all empty. Right? There are no planets, there are no living beings, nothing in there. So what happens? In each of these universes, the Lord Himself enters. And He enters as the second name, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Garbha Udaka Shayi Vishnu. Garbha. This is the point where He's actually creating, giving birth. Garbha is the uterus. Right? So this is where creation truly happens, where the fetus is developing, where the babies are going to be born. So this Garbha, Udaka, again there is an ocean and usme lete hain Bhagwan. Okay? Now this Garbha, this universe has been filled by a liquid that comes out of Vishnu himself. Okay? And Vishnu lies down on that water. This is called the Garbha ocean. He's lying down peacefully. So Karanodakashayi Vishnu say many universes have come. Now we're going to look at one universe. In this one universe, Karanodakashayi Vishnu is thinking कि यार मैंने यूनिवर्स तो बना दिया, प्रकृति को इलेक्ट्रीफाई कर दिया, महत्त्व क्रिएट कर दिया, but really I should go. I should keep a watch. I should enable further creation. And so Mahavishnu just does not stay on that Karanodakashayi ocean. He creates another avatar, the second avatar called Garbha Udakashayi Vishnu. And he enters this ocean. Now remember, jitne universes, utne Garbhodakashayi Vishnus. Okay? So we are talking of only one universe. So Karanodakashayi Vishnu ka one part comes and enters this universe. He is called Garbhodakashayi. Garbha Udakashayi Vishnu. He is lying down peacefully on this Garbha ocean. He is lying down on Anantashesh in Yoga Nidra. See, the verse tells us Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra means aram se. He is perfectly resting, but he is not like us. हम लोग कैसे बेहोश होके पढ़ते हैं, है ना? No, he is perfectly aware of everything that is happening. So he is fully conscious. He is fully in control, right? He is fully present, and yet he is completely relaxed. He has no tension, no effort, no struggle. Creation does not happen because Bhagwanji is running around. No. Everything works automatically under his will. He does not have to act the way we act. He does not have to get tired. He does not need to exert himself. He simply is. That's why he's God. He simply is, and everything happens. Right? So think of him as a powerful king. He's sitting calmly on his throne. He's not personally running around everywhere, and yet everything happens as per his will. है ना? राजा शांत बैठा हुआ है and राज्य में सब कुछ अच्छी तरह से चल रहा है. So this calm, effortless control is Yoga Nidra. Right? So now from this peaceful Vishnu, something very beautiful appears. A lotus appears from his navel. Okay? Always remember, why a lotus? Lotus is a very important symbolism in the Bhagavatam, in spirituality. Because a lotus, it grows from water, but it is untouched by water. Right? A lotus is pure. A lotus is clean. A lotus is beautiful. But a lotus stands in mud. तो हम चाहे कितने कचरे में हैं, we can ubro from it. Right? Important lesson that lotus tells us, whatever chaos is around us, we don't have to be touched by it. Okay? That is why lotus, extremely symbolic. Lotus represents pure intelligence. So from God's Nabhi, now remember Nabhi, that is where even our baby is attached to us, right? The umbilical cord is then cut. From this Nabhi, So Nabhi is supposed to symbolize the center of creation, the center of life. है ना? From there comes Brahmaji. So remember, Brahmaji is not born from chaos. Brahmaji is born from order, from purity, from absolute divine balance. So नाभि से ये लोटस आता है, लोटस के ऊपर Brahmaji is born. Very, very calm, everything around him. And Brahmaji is called Vishwa Srujam Patihi. Look at that last line, right? He is the chief of all creators. Vishwa Srujam, विश्व की रचना करने के लिए पति ही, the supreme most. Right? So in this universe, not in entire material creation, Karnodakashai created everything. Garbhodakashai Vishnu has entered, has made everything else possible. So he's given Brahmaji all the ingredients. Right? And so Brahmaji will now take all these ingredients and arrange them correctly. Okay? So primary creation is Vishnu. Secondary creation is Brahmaji. Alright? So Brahmaji does not create from nothing. He arranges what already exists. He works with the materials that have been provided by Vishnu. So in simple words, we can understand that Vishnu is the source, the provider, and Brahmaji is the engineer. Alright? And then we have to keep in mind. So the second one is Garbhodakashai Vishnu. And when Brahmaji starts creating, right? He creates mountains, he creates trees, he creates oceans, he creates animals, he creates us, and he creates devatas. And at that point, Bhagwanji thinks, wait, again, I can't leave Varsha alone. And how stupid, rebellious character she is. She's never going to turn around and, find out ki acha Brahmaji kahan hai. So I need to go with her. Right? And so, when Brahmaji creates me with my past samskaras, with my past desires, at that time, that compassionate Lord, he also enters. That Lord is called Kshiro Dakashai Vishnu. One tiny aspect. Kshiro Dakashai Vishnu. That is Paramatma. The third one, the simple word is Paramatma. He enters every aspect of creation to guide us constantly, to watch us constantly, to constantly tell us ki yes, you can come back to me. Okay? So now the three names, Karanodakashai Vishnu, जो सबके कारण हैं. In simple words, Mahavishnu. Second one is Garbhodakashai Vishnu. है ना, जो पूरा गर्भ प्रोवाइड करते हैं फॉर क्रिएशन. राइट? ही प्रोवाइड्स द यूटरस सो दैट एंटायर क्रिएशन कैन हैपन. एंड द लास्ट वन इज परमात्मा. राइट? परमात्मा एक्सेप्ट ऑल्सो नोन एज क्षीरोदकशाई विष्णु. क्षीर के सागर पे जो लेटे हुए हैं, क्षीरोदकशाई विष्णु. ओके? ऑलराइट, नाउ लेट अस लुक एट व्हाट Suta Goswami says next. Verse number 3. Yasyavayav संस्थानै कल्पितो लोक विस्तरः तद्वै भगवतो रूपं विशुद्धं सत्वमूर्जितम्. Now what happens is, we are ignorant. We look at the universe, and because we appreciate a superior creator, we start thinking that everything that we see around us is the Lord. Okay? We start thinking that all the planets, right, all the mountains, all the oceans, all the trees, all the animals are God. Tadvai bhagavato rupam. We start thinking that every form around me is God. Smriti is God, Subbalakshmi is God, Kajal is God, Kanchan is God, right? This is how we start thinking. But what we have to understand is, everyone has an ansh of God in them. Everyone is a part and parcel of God. I can't start worshipping Subbalakshmi. I have to worship the Devata in Subbalakshmi. Two big differences, right? That is why in the 11th chapter, okay, we constantly study about Virat Roop, right? So this verse is actually talking about Virat Roop. When we hear so much about creation, we start to understand that this universe itself is God, right? So we are told the planets must be, his limbs, the mountains must be his bones, the rivers must be his veins, right? The sun and the moon are his eyes. So we start seeing the entire universe as God's body. Yes, it is a wonderful start to our spiritual journey. Thinking like this helps us to start seeing God everywhere. Thinking like this makes us very reverential. It helps us to understand that yes, I am living inside of something that is very, very sacred, right? But as we understand deeper, we must realize that even if all the planets, all the beings, all the ingredients in this universe, everything comes from him, there is a huge difference. Why? Because everything created is bound by Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun. But the Lord, he is, look at that last line, Vishuddham Sattvam Urjitam. He is eternally in the purest spiritual world. Right? So seeing God everywhere, Brahman realization is our first step in our spiritual journey. Right? It helps us see God everywhere, and we stop thinking that we are very independent. We start to respect creation. We start to get a little conscious about, no, I don't want to exploit this world because everything has been created by God, right? But then, so our first understanding is Virat Roop. इसीलिए लोग बोलते हैं ना, I will only worship the sun because that is the God that I can see. है ना? Brahman realization. It's not wrong, but it's not complete. Virat Roop is my start. Then from that Virat Roop, dhire dhire, when I start focusing, I start to realize that, oh, what I see in that tree is also inside of me. So while I'm offering, water to a banyan tree every day, or while I'm offering water to sun god every day, dhire dhire I start realizing that same ansh is present inside of me also as Paramatma. Right? So I start trying harder to listen to what Paramatma is saying. And when I do that, I finally go towards understanding the concept of Bhagavan. Okay? Alright. Verse number 4. Pashantyadorupamadabrachakshusha Sahasrapadorubujananadbhutam Sahasramurtha Shravanakshinnasikam Sahasramaulyambarakundalolasat. Anyone remembers where this is in the Bhagavad Gita?
When Krishna shows his full avatar.
His Virat Roop. Which chapter is that?
Chapter 10.
Chapter 11. Chapter 10, he is telling us about his opulences. Chapter 11, who is seeing this universal form? Arjun is seeing it, right? Anybody remembers?
Sanjay.
And Sanjay. ठीक है, and Sanjay. And I'll discount Sanjay for now. But Arjun, वहीं पे बैठ के वो भगवान को देख रहा है. Anybody knows a verse? There are many verses in that chapter. अनेक बाहूदर वक्त्र नेत्रम पश्यामि त्वां सर्वतोऽनन्त रूपम नान्तं न मध्यं न पुनस्तवादिं पश्यामि विश्वेश्वर विश्वरूपम. Right? So Arjun starts describing the universal form of the Lord. Aneka vaktra nayanam. Right? There are so many vaktra mouths, so many nayanam, eyes. Anek adbhuta darshanam. Anek divya bharanam. I can see so many ornaments on you. Divya neko dyata yudham. I can see so many uplifted weapons. Divya Malambaradharam. I can see so many forms. All of them are wearing beautiful garlands, right? Gandhanulepanam. All of them have put different gandha and lepa, है ना? किसी ने चंदन लगाया है, किसी ने उपटन लगाया. I can see all of this. And he says, सर्वाश्चर्य. मुझे सब देख के बड़ा आश्चर्य हो रहा है. This is विश्वतो मुखम. This is the Virat Roop. But there was one condition to see the Virat Roop. Everyone couldn't see the Virat Roop. What was the condition to see the Virat Roop?
Divya Chakshu.
Very good. Divyam dadami te chakshuhu. Here, take. I am now going to give you divine vision. Without divine vision, without Shastra Chakshu, without Bhakti Chakshu, with our Charma Chakshu, with our material eyes, we will not be able to see God. But when God, with His mercy, gives us Divya Chakshu, gives us Shastra Chakshu, at that time we are able to see the Lord. Why? Because of pure devotion. Everywhere in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. If you want to know me, Abhijanati. अगर तुमको मुझे जानना है, तो what do you need? Bhakti. Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Right? There's that beautiful verse in the Brahma Samhita. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena. जब तक तुम प्रेम का अंजन नहीं लगाओगे, right? We cannot see God. But if you put प्रेम का अंजन, प्रेम का काजल, संतः सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति. When you have prem, then you're a santa, right? If you love God, then you are a santa, a sage, a devotee. And as a devotee, inside your hridayeshu, inside your heart, sadaiva vilokayanti, you will be able to see the Lord. And how will you see the Lord? Yam shama sundaram achintya gunaswarupam. You will see Him as Shama Sundar, who has inconceivable guna, right? Inconceivably beautiful form of the Lord. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So if we want to see the Lord, we have to be seeped in bhakti. है ना? गुलाब जामुन अगर टेस्टी होना है तो उसको अच्छा शक्कर का पाक बना के उसको डुबोना पड़ता है. So like that, unless we are duboed in bhakti, we will not taste Bhagwan Ji ka sweetness. Okay? So always remember, the universal form is not the final object of our devotion. It is the beginning of correct spiritual vision. But from there we have to move on to Paramatma realization. From there we have to finally aim to be able to see that beautiful Sham Sundar Achintya Guna Swarupam in our hearts. Right? Wow, we are at 12 o'clock. So, Vangmay Shiromani, Vangmay Mukut Shiromani, Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Shri Krishna Arpanamastu, Shubham Bhavatu. I'm sorry, I did not realize the time. We will continue next week. Hai na? But do you have some questions so far? Yes, Smriti.
Just have a question around, in Bhagavad Gita, it clearly states that you need that special eyes to see the Virat Roop. So, I might be wrong, but to me, it seems like it's only Arjuna who saw Krishna because he was the only one who was given those eyes. And Sanjay was just describing what Arjuna was saying, that I can see your different hands, I can see thousands of eyes, thousands of faces. I might be wrong, so I just wanted to understand if my understanding is correct or if Sanjay actually saw.
Okay. First correction. It is not Bhagavad Gita, it is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagwan ka Geet. Okay? Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. A book that is written about Bhagwan, Bhagavatam. Okay? First. Now, both explanations are given by different acharyas. Some acharyas say that Arjun saw everything that, Sanjay saw everything that Arjun saw. Right? Because Sanjay को भी तो दिव्य दृष्टि दी हुई थी ना. Sanjay was also blessed. And therefore, Sanjay was able to see and listen to everything that happened on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. This is what some acharyas say. The other acharyas say what you said. Ki Sanjay is recounting because he can listen to everything that Arjun is describing. He is repeating Arjun's words. Because if he had truly seen it all, then there would have been great transformation in him. But later we don't hear much about Sanjay. Right? So both versions are written by different acharyas. Go with whatever makes you happy, because it's a question that does not make any difference to our bhakti. Whether Sanjay saw or Sanjay did not see does not matter. So different acharyas pick different answers. Okay? All right. Bhakti, you have a question, dear?
Yes, Mataji, not exactly a question. Actually a question. So there's a beautiful picture of Mahavishnu in Bhagavad Gita, which I came across just a few days ago when my daughter Eva wanted to go through these books, and she loves to look at the pictures. So there's a beautiful picture of Mahavishnu in there, where there are so many bubbles, and in the bubbles I see Vishnu, Mahavishnu, and there is a lady. Is that Prakriti or is that Rukmini?
Oh, I have to see the picture. If she's sitting right with Vishnu, okay, then she would be Lakshmi.
Actually, yeah.
Sorry, darling, you'll have to send me a picture. Okay, where is the lady? Okay, I can see Vishnu.
I will send a picture.
I can see Vishnu lying down.
At the feet of him. Yes, he's lying down and she's right at his feet.
If she's serving him physically, she's Lakshmi. But if she's standing, waiting to take his commands, then she's Prakriti.
Okay, no, she's sitting down.
So sitting is, I think, Mahalakshmi only.
Yeah.
Mahalakshmi.
If she's sitting in personal service of the Lord, she's Lakshmi ji. If she's reverentially there to serve him in creation, then she's Mahamaya.
It's on Sheshanag where they are sitting, right? That's the one you're talking about.
If she is on Sheshanag, then she's Lakshmi ji. If she's with the Lord, then she's Lakshmi ji.
It is with the Sheshanag.
Yeah, because Sheshanag पे सिर्फ विष्णु और लक्ष्मी बैठेंगे और कोई नहीं जाएगा. है ना?
Thank you, Mataji.
All right, dear. Indrajit, you have a question?
Yeah. Can you explain that 8 Varshas and 9th Varsha is Bharat Varsha, that last time?
No, and very honestly, I've had a crazy week. I haven't even spent time studying it. Again, I will, but it does not matter to me. I will make an effort to understand this whole concept of Jambu Dweep, and I accept that we are so blessed that we are born in this Bharatvarsh, but really I don't know it well, Indrajit. I have not put in any effort to actually study it. I sincerely apologize, but when I do, I will share it with you.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Yeah.
Nothing to be sorry. We are all in the life.
No, I know that I should read it, but I have greatest reverence for Bhagavatam. I have greatest reverence for Shukdev Goswami, Vyasdev, and then my own dear Janva Mataji. So yes, I'm supremely blessed to be born in Bharatvarsh. मेरे मन में ऐसे लगता है कि I'm convinced कि God is impartial. So yes, Purna avatars, right? Purna avatars, like Krishna came in Vrindavan, Ramji came in Ayodhya, Narsimhadev came in Ahobalam, right? I see all of this. Kalki is supposed to incarnate in Bihar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came right here in Mayapur. All Purna avatars, I can see logically that yes, they manifested, they incarnated in India. So we are blessed beyond words. But I still want to tell myself ki let this not lead to pride, because I truly think samoham sarva bhuteshu, God is summer to all the living entities. Right? I think somewhere I also have fear when I realize कि if I'm born in Bharat Bhumi, which is so pious, then maybe my duties are far greater. Maybe I have to be far more responsible with my life. So maybe I'm still hesitating to take on that responsibility. Because Bharat Bhumi, if you've taken Janam in, then Kara Uddhar. First you have to do your own Uddhar and then Para Upkar. राइट सडनली यू हैव टू रियलाइज कि तुम्हारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कितनी ज्यादा है. योर लाइफ इज नॉट अबाउट लिविंग लाइक कैट्स एंड डॉग्स, यू नो, रेजिंग योर चिल्ड्रन एंड एग्जिटिंग. यू हैव सच अ लार्ज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, राइट? सो व्हेन यू रीड चैतन्य चरितामृत, you will realize कि Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says कि if you're born in this Bharat Bhumi, you have this chance to exit, and you have this chance to influence your entire area of influence, और उसको keep, you know, उसको बड़ा करते जाओ, bring about a change, talk about God to everybody. So our responsibility is very, very high. What Mataji also told me is that Bharat Varsha is Punya Bhumi. इतना तप हुआ है, इतना यज्ञ हुआ है, इतना सब कुछ यहाँ पे हुआ है. The Indus Valley civilization is the oldest civilization. And therefore, from time immemorial, a lot of yajna dana tapa has happened on this bhumi. And therefore, this bhumi is very, very pious. And the other places are newer civilizations, and therefore, maybe we only talk of acharyas and saints who came to preach, spread bhakti, right? Like I personally still want to tell myself कि Makkah Medina is also very pious and Mayapur is also very pious, right? Because devotees approach with faith, and I don't think I'm in a place to comment on anybody's faith, because I can barely scratch the top of my own faith, है ना? जब मैं अपना पूरा समझूं तब मैं सोचूं कि मैं किसी और पे कमेंट करूं. So I think it's a lot of fear. I don't feel like getting into these, because truly I think human beings everywhere have the potential to go back to God in this lifetime. And that is what God tells us in so many verses, right? One of my favorite verses in the Bhagavatam is where Krishna is giving us that verse. I'm trying to think of the start. Plavam Sukalpam. Who knows this? It's so Nrudehamadhyam Sulabham Sudurlabham Plavam Sukalpam Guru Karnadharam Mayanukulena Nabhasvatiritam Pumams Bhavabdim Nataret Sa Atmaha. It's such a beautiful verse, and in that verse God is not saying कि you are born as a living being in a particular place. He says बस human birth मिला है ना, नृदेहम आद्यम, तुमको नर का देह मिल गया है, right? Now remember, you got this deha without any extra effort. You were not a dog who were praying कि भाई मुझे human body दे दो, नहीं. Sulabham, very easily, very unconsciously, we don't know what we've done in our past, but right now we're super blessed to have a human body. It does not say I'm in the US, I'm in Scotland, I'm in Pakistan, or I'm in India. It says you have a human body. Nrudeham Adyam Sulabham Sudurlabham Plavam Sukalpam Guru Karnadharam. This human body is an amazing boat, right? And the Guru is my captain, is the captain of that particular boat. Plavam Sukalpam Guru Karnadharam. मयानुकूलेना, मैंने तुम्हारी पूरी जर्नी पूरी अनुकूल कर दी है. How? I've given you scriptures, right? I've performed so many leelas. I have made it possible for you to constantly think of me. I've created this universe. I've put you in a good family. I've given you all your senses. I've given you man. I've given you buddhi. I've given you everything. Mayanukulena nabhasviteratam. So for this boat, which has a lovely captain, I have even made the winds favorable. अब जब मैंने ये सब कुछ कर लिया है, if you do not cross over this bhavam buddhim, this material ocean, then you are doing atmaha. Tum atma hatya kar rahe ho. Right? And this verse simply tells me to focus on human birth. And this verse somehow for me it's the last verse that I studied with Satyati Mataji. So it just resonates so much with me, and that's the only thing that I focus on in Rajit. कि जिसको भी human birth मिला है, whether she is my house help or she is Maharani of Jaipur, I just think anybody who's got a human birth has the potential to go back home in this very lifetime. बार बार भगवान बोलते हैं कि बस तुम ऐसे आ जाओ, right? Just surrender unto me and I promise you I'll wipe away all your paps and I will take you back. Itna reassurance when God has given, I will take his word. I will not worry about who is born there.
Yeah.
Right? So I think, and I would sincerely urge everybody to think like this, because it's a very simplistic view. It's a very, it's a view that says everybody has that Paramatma in them. So I'm not going to think that somebody born in the US is born only for Bhog and Aishwarya. Whereas I am born to do good karmas and, lots of yajnas and perform a lot of austerity and go back home. I think I would be doing a disservice if I say that. And so let's all hold on to the simplistic view till we understand anything else.
Pursue.
Sorry, it just went very, very long. Yeah, Subbalakshmi.
Last week, no, you had told one this thing, protect that words. First, P means protect personally, R representative, O omnipresent, T teachings. E and C, we don't know what it is. So just
C is compassion.
The same thing.
C is through his compassion. जब तुम प्रॉब्लम में होते हो तब कोई अचानक से आके तुम्हारी मदद कर देता है ना? So that is the Lord. He comes in a different form through his own compassion. Okay? The other T was time. Time itself teaches us.
Yes, E is left.
What is
E
E?
is left.
Shoot me. E. यार मैंने नहीं. Sorry yaar. Somebody please send me a message before class. I will pakka pull this out. I'm so sorry. E bacha. I will find out. E. Example. No yaar. I will figure out. Sorry, Subbalakshmi. Yes, Nipa, you have a question? E.
Yes, Varsha.
Examples.
So second verse, you are saying that the part of Purusha lies down within the water of the universe. So does it created by Vishnu, or is it saying that he is not dependent on water creation, or creation of water? Does it mean like that?
उन्हीं से निकलता है वो पानी. गर्भोदकशाही ocean. See, what is that fluid that we have in our uterus, when we are expecting a child? What is that fluid called? Amniotic fluid. है ना?
Yeah.
So it is really describing the uterus. Right? अब uterus में वो amniotic fluid कहाँ से आता है? It comes from our own bodies, right? To protect all of creation. So Garbha Udakashayi, God is now entered the uterus. है ना?
Okay.
And in that uterus, automatically by the God's potency, this whole amniotic fluid is created. That is the Garbha Udaka. While they say it is the water of the Garbhodakashayi ocean, it truly represents the amniotic fluid.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Clear now.
Thank you, dear. Sonal, you have a question?
Yes, so I don't know whether it relates to this chapter or not, but you spoke something about Ahankar today, and lately I've been observing something about Ahankar and about the concept of self-preservation. So there are some days wherein, I think like we all are one and I should not hold on things to myself. But the moment someone hurts me, I kind of go into a mode wherein, I am going to prove I don't need anyone else. Maybe these things are with regards to love or emotions, and so also with regards to material things like finances. So actually, when you say that when we read and practice things like Bhagavad Gita, we kind of tend to let go of our material attachments, which is very true. But what happens is whenever someone hurts me, my immediate reaction is to go into this mode, and this is happening. So is this something that happens, or what happens when we go forward?
Sonal, you're talking to somebody who has been so ridiculously independent in her life, right? I have been somebody who's, I remember when I was about maybe 16, okay, I had started giving tuitions. I was always academically, and I come from a very good home, okay, my parents looked after me beautifully, but somebody approached me and said, yaar Varsha, is bachche ko kuch padha de. And they were those NRIs who were coming on holiday, and I taught the kid for a month, and she gave me a whole lot of money, and I kind of realized, oh wow, it's so easy to make money. तब से जो मैंने काम करना शुरू किया, सोनल, I've been stupidly attached to working and making money. When I was maybe about 17, by 16 and a half, 17, I'd made enough money. I went to my father and said, here is the cash, now I need to buy my Kinetic. है ना, तब Kinetic Honda होता था. So my father said, thanks बच्चा, इसको ना रख लो, जब मुझे ज़रूरत है ना मैं ले लूँगा. And that day in the evening he bought me a Kinetic Honda. Okay, but I've been such a rascal. Anything I wanted, no, I would say, ये ले लो भाई पैसे, मुझे ये चीज़ चाहिए. Right? I grew up with that, fiercely independent. Left my parents' house very early. Have been working, and God has been very kind, right? So materially very well rewarded. I got married. I went off to the US, and I couldn't take money from my husband, right? I just couldn't accept the concept कि भाई मुझे एक बंदे से पैसा लेना है, right? So in the first 15 days, I had a job. I was back to working. I worked till I was 9 months and 3 days pregnant. I gave birth to my child. 5th day, I went back to work. Okay? I'm only telling you this because I've been so stupid. When I look back, I think, bhai, kya zarurat thi? What was I trying to prove, and to whom? I was only trying to ascertain my ego. है ना? I was only subscribing to my ego. I wish that I had a little more knowledge पहले कि भाई लेने में कोई हर्ज नहीं है ना, शांति से रहो. I have 3 kids and I worked through all of it, and when I've had absolutely no reason to work. In retrospect, because there's a lot of feminism, there's a lot of self-pride, there's a lot of why should I haath pasaro, leads to a lot of ego, leads to a lot of pride, makes it harder to become submissive and to surrender. Okay? And the reason I'm saying all this is because I realize that I make it so much harder for myself. You're so young, है ना? You're like a little podha. Build a fence around you. Okay? So when people hurt you, your response, of course, should not be to hurt them, but your response should also not be to hurt yourself. Right? तुम प्रूव जब करते हो तब सामने वाला बोलता है क्या, yes Sonal, yes I was wrong, कोई नहीं आके बोलता है ना. You're doing it only to satisfy your own ego. फिर वापस कोई और आके कुछ दूसरा ताना मारेगा, वापस तुम लग जाओगे उसको समझाने, उसको दिखाने, लेकिन वो देखने के लिए खड़ा ही नहीं होता है, वो तो कब का निकल जाता है. तुम बस बेवकूफों की तरह ऐसे ही गोल 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 भागते रहते हो कि I will prove to you. That person is not standing there to prove, to get proven wrong. That person has said what he wanted to say and he has left. And he is not going to appreciate you whatever you do. Right? So it is very important when people come to hurt us, they just come from a place of hurt. When people say mean things to us, it is because they are feeling low. They have a complex. They're not doing it because they want to send us in this mad rat race. है ना? So from now on, start introspecting. I'm not saying that there is something wrong in working. I encourage women to work, right? I encourage all of us to be independent, but with a lot of submission, with a lot of patience, with a lot of tolerance, right? In today's world, of course, it is important. I would encourage my daughters to be part of the workforce, but know how to protect their core. Stop doing things to prove something to somebody else. Do it for your own growth. Do it because it.
No, this is not to prove to someone. This is just to make sure that I don't get hurt the next time. So, for example, say if I have joint finances with someone, we kind of go on good terms for some time, and then there comes a situation where my permission is not taken to do something. Now, in that moment, I feel hurt, and then I kind of want to withdraw myself from that situation and create something of my own entirely. Like this happens in my in terms of my emotional life also, and in terms of my material life also. And I don't know whether it is related to ahankar or whether it is just related to self-love.
Self-love is a beautiful concept. So when you see you're emotionally hurt and you look after your emotions, unless you are emotionally fully happy, you cannot radiate love. So self-love is extremely important. Giving yourself time, healing your own wounds, disassociating, detaching from people who cause grief is extremely important. So self-love is not ahankar. Self-love is, I have this Paramatma inside of me. When my Atma gets hurt, my Paramatma feels offended. I don't want to hurt my Atma or my Paramatma. So I will not give anybody the license to hurt me. I will detach myself from people who make it their mission in life to hurt me. Self-love is one aspect. Finance का जो है ना सोनल, in our material life, if you read the Bhagavad, अभी recently we read, कि कलयुग का ये feature है कि anybody who is anywhere, money is going to be the cause of a lot of turmoil. Wealth is going to be the cause of breaking up of several relationships. Right? It has been written. This is Kali Yuga. Because we've started our journey on the spiritual path, we may be lesser attached to money than other people. And we will not be able to convey this to them. Therefore, for all practical purposes, it is very nice to have separate individual finances and not mess with people. I always say you should have your own bank account. Your husband should have, you should have your own bank account, and then you should have a joint account with your husband. Right? You should keep those. There are instances you don't need permissions. You don't need any questions asked. You need to do something on your own. Please do it. And there are some where there are joint decisions. Please do that. But finance apna alag karo. In Kali Yuga, it is recommended that you be financially independent. I don't know how better to answer a situation.
No. So I'm sorry if I was not able to put it the right way, but my finance I gave just as an example. But I'm saying that when I act out of selfishness, it is not mostly because of ahankar. It is mostly because I want to self-preserve myself. So my question was relating to ahankar. Finance, I just gave it as an example. So
no, self-love to hai na. Self-love to, I think as time passes, I realize more and more कि if I let everybody create chaos around me, my own spiritual journey will weaken. है ना? मैं जितना कर पा रही हूँ, मैं शायद वो नहीं कर पाऊंगी if I keep reacting and trying to keep everyone around me happy. This concept of I will try to please everybody, it is only a concept. It is a notion. It is not possible. Right? तुम खाना अच्छा बना लोगे, तुम मीठी बातें कर लोगे, तुम अच्छे कपड़े पहन लोगे, फिर भी अगर सामने वाला अंदर से नाखुश है, he will find something to complain about. So we all have to accept that we cannot be people pleasers, even the people that we love the most. Right? Unfortunately, and I say this with sadness, we are trained to always please your husbands, always please your children, always please your in-laws, always please your parents. We are raised like this. But maybe when you get as old as I am, you begin to realize that there are some people who cannot be pleased. It is their swabhav, their prakriti. It is their internal demon. And unfortunately, you cannot fix it. You might have answers, but even God says when somebody does not come to you for an answer, do not go there and give a satsang. Hai na? So those are demons that person needs to deal with. Don't let his demons start affecting you. And I say this to everybody. As we get older, we have to realize that no, I cannot please everybody, but don't do anything to harm them. You do your duty, do it graciously, and exit that scenario. And over time, you will realize that it's so easy to maintain that relationship. Because you're responsible to answer that Paramatma inside of you. So that Paramatma will not let you not do your duty. Right? You will do your duty towards everybody that you're responsible for. But beyond that, मैं उनको खुश रखूंगी, that is probably ahankar. You thinking कि I have the ability to please everybody, that is ahankar. Right? So, back off. Back off and look after your creeper of bhakti. And when I say bhakti, it means the attributes that your soul needs to learn. Focus on that. Look after that. Water that regularly. Again, I'm telling everybody, this does not mean that you don't do your duties. This does not mean that you cut off ties with people who annoy you. No. Please do your duty. Do it with detachment. And that is what the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavad teach us. Detach from expectations. हमको लगता है ना कि यार मैंने इसके लिए इतना किया, बंदा हंस के थैंक यू भी नहीं बोलता. दुख होता है. वो दुख जो है वो अहंकार की वजह से आया है. Because I'm expecting a smile. I'm expecting a thank you. That expectation is wrong. I'm expecting appreciation. No. I did what was my duty. So why should I get appreciated for it? If he appreciates, good for him. Because that is the right thing to do. But if he does not, then you don't hurt yourself saying, यार क्या नालायक है, मैं अगली बार से करूंगी नहीं. है ना? So protect your own sapling. That's the little bit that I understand. We are living in a very chaotic world. We are living in a world of instant gratification. We are living in a world that is full of expectations and expectations from others and from ourselves. We women especially are stupid because we are told we are super women. Why? I don't want to be a superwoman anymore. I spent crucial years of my life trying to prove to the world that I'm a superwoman, and I realized how stupid I was. I just want to be a normal woman. I don't want to be smarter than them. I don't want to earn more than them. I don't want to, work longer hours than them. I don't want to sleep lesser than them. Why am I doing this? But the material world applauds it.
Right.
The material world says, wow, she's burning candle at both ends. Why? But unfortunately, in those crucial years, we don't stop to ask why. लगे हैं, अरे वाह वाह, सब पीठ थपात रहे हैं, तो I will sleep lesser. I will go without sleep. I will do, 60 hours constant work. Duh. Don't. Because at that time, we're working to prove something, to accomplish something. We're desire driven. We are in proper Rajo Gun. है ना? And I've lived my entire life in Rajogun. Even today, my God, give me a project and I go mad. I'm a very horrible person to live with because, my sister says, yaar, don't hang around Varsha. वो किसी को बैठने नहीं देती और खुद भी नहीं बैठती है. I have this बीमारी, है ना? But I realize कि no रे, not worth it. है ना? So after very long, I've learned to shut off my phone when I'm in classes, shut off my phone when I go for my Gita reading. कि भाई क्या emergency है? I can do things tomorrow. I can say, हाँ भाई मैं कर लूँगी लेकिन कल करती हूँ. Right? So slow down and focus on yourself.
Thank you.
I hope I've answered
Varsha,
something. Yes,
you
Subbalakshmi.
you have taught us 3 days dutiful, detached devotion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a beautiful triangle on which your life should stand. है ना? हम लोग ड्यूटीफुल के नाद में खुद की वाह सुनने के पीछे पड़ जाते हैं. And we think, oh, I'm doing my duty. We do too much. है ना? That is why actually if you notice, Subbalakshmi, in most homes now, when we were growing up, one breakfast was made. One lunch was made. Now, even in my house, every person is eating a different thing as per their desire. Why? It is so foolish. But these are the monsters that we created. I always say, if you have a spoiled husband, he's a monster that you are responsible for. You created that monster. Right? So,
Very true.
yeah, I mean, now in almost all homes, I see इतने varieties बनते हैं कि नहीं भाई बच्चा तो है ना ये खाएगा, नहीं भाई husband तो यही खाएगा. Stupid. है ना? Yeah, Bhakti, you have a question.
Actually, I don't have a question, but I just remembered something that you had said, in during our Bhagavad Gita days, in connection to the same thing that Sonal was saying, that if somebody doesn't appreciate, be happy, is because it has been written in Krishna's book. So I actually take that, literally I take that for anything and everything.
Oh,
The day I
wow.
make good food, because when I'm cooking, I'm always thinking, my husband will like it, my daughter will like it. And then some days, my husband is a little busy watching his Netflix and he forgets to say, I'm like, she didn't say it. And also, another thing from Bhagavad Gita days, I remember, I can't exactly remember what you had said, but if someone hurts you, I take it as they are the limit to push me closer to Krishna.
Yes.
And so, let people hurt you, it is good,
Wow.
let them do it. It really helps so much.
See, you must have
to,
said your prayers really well on that day before class. So this really you could pick up and apply to your life.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. I relate to Sonal's question so much. So I really like her questions, and I keep thinking, this was a question once upon a time in my life, and I've got an answer. So yeah, thank you, Sonal. For raising
Sonal,
these
did you hear the
questions.
answer? When somebody hurts
Yeah,
you,
thank you.
है ना, तुम्हारे थोड़े कर्म फिट रहे हैं, है ना? When somebody does not appreciate you, it gets written in God's book, and God is definitely going to appreciate you, है ना? अच्छा है if somebody in this material world does not appreciate you, because then he will. नहीं तो तुमने कुछ अच्छा किया, तुमको यहीं पे उसका रिजल्ट मिल गया, खत्म. अगर तुमने कुछ अच्छा किया और यहाँ पे रिजल्ट नहीं मिला, तो भाई वो ऊपर वाला तुमको उसका रिजल्ट देगा, है ना? It gets accumulated in that bank account. Thank you so much, Bhakti, for sharing that. Okay, thank you so much. Other any
Also, you had
questions?
said
Yeah.
that- Sorry, also you had said that the interest in Krishna's account is much more.
I always pick myself whenever I think of he didn't appreciate. It's like, you're thinking about the material things again. Stop it.
Thank you. I love you all so much. Thank you for listening intently and for applying so beautifully. Thank you so much. I'll see you back next Saturday. Hare Krishna.